Hello and welcome to Member Monday. I'm Daphne Doody-Green. I'm the CEO of the Bathroom Association, and I'm delighted to be on our very first Member Monday for 2026 with Sam Duffy, who is from NSF, and she's the Senior Global Manager for Water Programmes. So welcome, Sam, and Happy New Year.
Thank you, Daphne, and Happy New Year to you too, and to everybody who's listening today.
Thank you, and it's great to have you back. So we had you here in October with a fantastic update, and there's lots more to cover, so we'll get on with it. But for some of our members that perhaps don't know a huge amount about NSF, can you just give us a quick, brief update on what you do and how you support our members?
Sure, thank you. So for over 80 years now, we've been developing public health standards and providing world-class testing, inspection and certification services. And they're in areas, particularly for your members, of water, but also food, nutrition and life sciences. We're a private, independent, non-profit organisation, and our mission is about improving human and planet health.
Great, thank you. So, so you were with us in October, and you had some really good updates. And I do recall you were launching some new standards that was certainly on the horizon. Can you tell us a little bit about how that's panned out since we spoke last?
Sure. So if I start with P534, it is a protocol, so it is not a mandatory requirement. It is a voluntary scheme. But it's a scheme that fills the void that we've uncovered in the new EU Drinking Water Directive. So we refer to that as EU MHR, Minimum Hygienic Requirements. And the EU MHR covers final products. What it doesn't cover is pre-products, granulates, raw materials, site-applied materials. So we introduced P534. So when we last spoke, we were just getting that protocol created. That is now live, that is out there, and we already have clients who are currently going through that process. So it's going well. It's perfect timing me being here today at the beginning of 2026, because it is a critical time over the next 12 months. And anybody who has those types of pre-products really should be thinking about gaining P534, because it will help them to gain ultimately their European drinking water certification, and all their customers as well. So if one of your members manufactures raw material either for themselves or that they sell as a raw material, then this is the certification that they require that will give them that benefit to be able to sell that product.
Great, thanks, Sam. So that's really critical for our members. So really, really pleased you were able to give us that update. And then really thinking about 2026, we're in January now.
Mm-hmm.
What's the focus for NSF during this year?
So, as I say, it's perfect timing. This next 12 months is really critical for us and for our clients. The new Drinking Water Directive is mandatory from the 1st of January 2027. Now, there isn't a single certifying body that can certify before that date. Let's just put that out there. Even if they have their accreditation, not only do you need to be an accredited body, but you also need to be a notified body. And even if you've got those, you can't certify until after the 1st of January 2027. But a lot of customers obviously need to prepare for this. There is no point waiting until the 1st of January 2027. The new standards are a lot more complex than previous standards. Previous standards such as ACS, UBA, so the French and German, it's a lot more complex compared to the Regulation 4 standards for the UK. Mm-hmm. So there's no time to waste. You need to start working on that now. Now, what you can do, and the focus for 2026, is NSF have launched a new process called pre-assessment. Pre-assessment is a process which will get you your certification in 2027. So it follows the format of EU MHR and complies to the regulations. It includes the steps that anybody who works with NSF is familiar with. We have 7 steps where we have an application. we then review the information. We do a technical review. Once we've done the technical review, we can confirm what samples are required, what volume, size, etc. is required. We can request those samples. We can take those samples and we can test. We have our own facility in Reda in Germany, which is fully accredited for EU MHR, so 17025 accredited. We can start all of that, and that is what we call pre-assessment. Once that is done, we take all of that information and basically we will sit with that until 1st of January 2027. And then on the 1st of January 2027, or just after, our cert decider will review all of the information. We need to be informed of whether anything has changed. And if it hasn't, and obviously the results were successful in the lab, then we can then issue the certification as we move into 2027. So pre-assessment is really critical for 2026 if you want to get that accreditation, either because you want to be the first in your industry to achieve this accreditation, or because your French ACS or German UBA certification is going to expire. I think I said in October there is a transition period for those, but it depends on when the expiry date is. So it's really important that if the members haven't already started to work on their products for Europe, that they do that now and that they can do that with pre-assessment. And we're more than happy to help talk through the process in more detail if anybody wants to reach out to us.
That's really, really helpful. And thank you for sharing the critical timelines, because I think that's going to be massively helpful for our members. So thanks, Sam. So final question. So I know you've recently done a consumer survey, and some interesting results have come back, and I thought we could just take a few moments just to share some of the highlights, please.
Sure. So yes, the survey is for the members' benefit. It's a survey that we did in 2025, where we surveyed over 2,000 members of the public. Now this is UK based. So moving away from Europe, coming back to the UK, and we surveyed them to get a feel for what their understanding was of the UK regulations. So that is the Water Supply, Water Fittings 1999 regulations. And the results that you referred to showed us that around about 49% of those people had recently fitted either a kitchen or a bathroom within the last 5 years. But what was really alarming was that not many of those people actually knew about the water supply, water fittings regulations. Now, I'm sure all your members on this who are listening in know, because of the business that we're in. But when we take that information and drill it back, if we looked at 2024 figures, there are 28.6 million households in the UK. Let's take an average of 1.3 bathrooms to each household. Let's assume 2 faucets per bathroom. That's 74.3 million faucets. Let's assume 1 kitchen, 28.6 million faucets. If you add that up, in the UK, there's around about 103 million units out there. Now let's take a conservative approach. And let's say that a faucet is replaced every 20 years. That means on average 5 million faucets are replaced every year. Now, through our experience in our lab, we have around about a 20% failure rate. So we're estimating that there could be, if people don't know about these regulations and that they've not checked that their products are compliant to the water supply, water fittings regulations, there could be around about 1 million faucets out there that could potentially be putting people at risk. And let's face it, we know what that risk is. It's all about health effects, and it's all about contamination. So we're doing a lot more work on this. We're spending a lot of time trying to educate the consumers, because what is really concerning for NSF is that manufacturers can manufacture a non-compliant product. A merchant can sell a non-compliant product, but it's the homeowner and the installer that are the ones that are legally responsible for ensuring they're compliant. And what we found is that they're the people with the least amount of knowledge. The people who've got the knowledge are the bathroom manufacturers, your members, so that the scales are slightly wrong there. So what we're trying to do is to promote awareness with the consumer, which will help your members because they will then want to buy compliant products. We're also working to try and lobby for a change in regulations if we can, so that manufacturers and merchants can only sell these compliant products. Now, again, that will help your members because that will mean they're on a level playing field. Let's be honest, technology's gone the way it has. We all sit there at night scrolling through our phone and iPad when we're watching the telly, and you see all these online cheap adverts for taps and different things that are so cheap. Let's be honest, they're going to be cheap because they don't have certification. So that will help members because they will be on a level playing field for competition. So all I'd ask is we're doing as much as we can on this ourselves. Of any member listening in is if they could continue to push that it is regulation 4 that products need to be compliant for. So that's regulation 4 of the Water Supply, Water Fittings 1999 Act.
Great, that's been hugely informative. So I want to thank you for joining us again, and I'm sure you'll be back, Sam. But thank you for all of that information. I know we normally follow up on social media with further information on how to kind of connect with you and your team. So yes, thanks again, and take care and have a good day.
Thank you. You too. Speak to you soon.
Bye. Bye.